Hey, welcome back to the TLT Squared Show. I'm your host that loves you the most. My name is Mr. Harris. Yeah, you probably can't recognize me. I got some new gear on today because today's show was all about fashion. Some people say that fashion dictates in terms of how you dress who you are. I don't know if I really believe that, but I do think it makes other people have an opinion as to who you are based on how you dress. Well, today as our special guest, we have John Ashford from Ashford Collection. And some of you guys may be thinking about how can you get in fashion. Some of y'all make your little bags, you do nails, you do a little bit of hair, you get your hair did, the whole nine. You know, and you're trying to figure out how can I get involved. Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we go to the show, do you guys ever wonder why some people walk around in their pajamas? Yeah, just think about that.
Some become just what they hear, negative visuals they see. The platforms that you give seem like all there is to be. Media betrays teens as a life not to live. It's a negative. Over and over again.
Well, now my time to speak out on the TLT Squid Show. We hold the lights, the words, the sounds. We want the world to know
that we're not all locked up in dropouts without a glimpse of us shall be.
And on the contrary, full of life and style.
Stay tuned and you'll see. Promise lives to live. We have so much good to give. In a positive light,
center stage.
cameras rolling. Stories they speak of me.
We're here with our first guest here today at the TLT Squared Show. We're excited to have her. Her name is Shiana Fair. Let's give her a hand. So, Shiana, tell us, where you from?
I'm from Roosevelt, Long Island.
Roosevelt, Long Island. Strong Island, as we call it, right?
Yes.
Tell me about some of the fashion that you do.
It's basically kids line. I feel not a lot of people know how to dress kids nowadays. So I learned how to basically reconstruct most things that I go by that's plain. And
Very good. Please tell me that you are not designing, you always see these kids walking around with their, with the stuff we wear in the house, such as bathrobes and
No.
and pajamas, is what I'm
No.
trying to say. You're not designing that,
Not
are you?
at all.
All right, good. So tell me about some of your designs.
most of, I customize bow ties to basically stand out, be different, especially for kids. That's probably like the newest trend nowadays. Far as studs and things of that nature, changing sleeves on clothes and just adding spunk to it.
Awesome, awesome. It's really good to see that a woman of color, young, how old are you?
23.
Right, doing something real positive, right? You brought some of your work with us today. I used some pictures so we can take a look at, right?
Yes.
Let's take a look at that and see what's...
This is a picture of my son. This is a bow tie.
Nice bow tie.
A cheetah bow tie with spikes. He's having a music note with these are revamped Timberlands with cheetah.
Mm-hmm.
The blazer that I revamped. Also the hat.
Great. Instagram is how we can reach you, correct?
Yes.
All right. Tell me something. What made you get into fashion?
Growing up, I've always had an eye for it, I guess. But when I was younger, I was scared to go into that field. Mm-hmm. So I tried other routes before actually getting into it, which is now.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the struggles that you find trying to get your work out there or be seen?
Everyone is into fashion nowadays. So it's, everyone has their own taste to it. Everyone has their own extra they put on it. So I try to go do different things versus what everyone else is doing.
Right. Now, you said you're in school now?
Yes.
Where are you going?
To Nassau for business.
Awesome. All right. And so you're taking business what? Business management? Or,
Yes, business management.
And you're hoping to do what with that degree?
I have a lot in store for it. Can't really think off top,
Okay.
but I do have a lot in store for it.
What parting words of advice can you give a young audience who may be thinking about fashion or How can they get involved, or what kind of encouragement can you give them?
If you have an eye for it, I say just go for it. Like now, if that's what you really want to do, why not? That's how I feel.
Let me ask you a question before I let you go. Are you doing it for the money or the love of?
Love of.
Love of. That's really important. Well, let's give a hand for Ms. Fair. Happy to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. All right. And we have more. Be right back.
She's just a girl and she's on fire. Hotter than a fantasy. Lonely like a highway. Oh, she's got both feet on the ground and she's burning it down. This girl is on fire. 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 This girl is on fire.
All right, welcome back here to the TLT Squared Show. Sitting here with a very special guest, actually a very good friend of mine. His name is John Ashford, and he's here to talk about the Ashford Collection. Welcome to the show, John.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. People don't know, we go back a little bit.
Way back.
Way back, not too far, man. 'Cause
No,
here,
so long ago. So long ago.
When did I meet you first?
I'm not going to say the year, but I had just moved to New York City. Well, to the Bronx.
Right, you're from where? Washington?
From Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. Okay, you
Yeah.
grew up in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Okay, and when I met you, you were actually a DJ.
Yeah, I still am a DJ.
Oh, you still are a DJ. No
Yeah.
disrespect, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
by
all
that.
it's all right.
I'm
No, because a lot of people don't know. You make shoes now, you forget all about DJing.
saying- well, we had a live band, and you were actually scratching.
Right. With
right.
turntables.
And nobody was doing that.
I was a DJ/artist.
Okay.
I used to do art for television. I used to do art for the Jamie Foxx show and the Martin show and the Wayans brothers.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. I remember now.
Yeah. And that was around the time I decided to move to New York.
Okay.
I didn't want to move to LA.
To the big city to boost your career.
Yeah.
How's
I
that?
wanted to be around artists
Okay.
because in DC everybody was conservative at the time.
Right. And how has that move to help you?
Oh man, I live and breathe art, whether it's making music, making sounds, whether it's making shoes, whether it's painting. It encompasses my life now. Yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you, man. Every time I get on the internet or Facebook or something like that, I always see like the John Ashford collection.
Yeah.
I know, people don't know that some of your shoes have been worn by famous artists. Can you talk about some of those artists?
Wow, put me on the spot, huh? Let's see. From Mary J. Blige to Alicia Keys,
Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams. Sometimes, like this Mob Wife show. There's a show called Mob Wives.
Yeah.
2 or 3 of them have worn the shoes. So sometimes they're out there. I don't know who has them.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know.
I know how much of a humble brother you are, but let me ask you a question. How does it make you feel when you see your artwork on television of somebody famous wearing your shoes? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good because the primary goal was never to be a millionaire from it. The primary goal was how many places can I get my stuff?
Right.
From my little crew that I work with. How far can I go with this? So my plan is international, from Paris to London to Tokyo.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, I want to eat too, don't get me wrong, but the primary wasn't about the money. It's about the art.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at some of your shoes. All right. I understand you have some models that you brought with you that came
Yes.
on the runway.
Yes.
All right. Let's take a look at it, shall we?
Sure.
Wow, it was great. Let's give a hand for our models in the studio today. And then, listen, man, I'm speechless. Beautiful models,
Yeah.
beautiful shoes, beautiful brother. What inspires you to do all this, man?
I think, art and nature inspire me. From a tree blowing in the wind to water rippling down. That's what gives me the ideas.
You sound like Stevie Wonder. That's kind of deep, man. I mean, are you
It
really
is.
inspired by ripplings of water?
Yeah, actually
Yeah?
I am. And actually Stevie Wonder is my favorite musician.
Awesome.
So.
I got a leak at my house. I want you to come by and get inspired,
Yeah, I'll call the plumber for you.
So listen, man, I think I was on Facebook or something like that. I don't know where I was at. And I saw your billboard on a big bus. And I
Yes,
was like,
bus stop. That was my
this
first ad.
Dude, man.
Yeah.
I was happy for you, man. Really,
Thanks.
really.
Part of it too is I've been a photographer for 20 years. So learning how to shoot with film before digital helps me with my advertisements a lot because I know the graphics, I know the Photoshop. I don't have to convey it to someone else.
Yeah. So let's get this right now. You're an artist.
Yes, a visual artist. painter.
You're an educator.
Yes, I'm a school teacher as
You're
well.
a sports enthusiast.
Yes, also teach gym.
You're quite the, you make shoes.
Yes,
All right. Is there anything you don't do, my brother?
I cannot sing at all.
Here's what I'd like for you to deposit into the minds of our young people. One of the reasons why we do the TLT Squared show is to encourage and show that people of color
Right.
aren't all crooks,
Right.
aren't all robbers, right?
Right.
But we're people trying to deposit something positive into society, become law-abiding citizens.
Right,
What can you do to encourage our young people? What can you say to them? There's somebody out there who wants to study art.
right,
There's somebody who wants to do photography. And I know one of the problems I think we have is that everybody's chasing a dollar.
right.
But some of us are told also we can't do it. What kind of words can, and I want you to look right into that camera and kind of
I'm going to say,
talk to our studio.
when I finished college, graduated undergrad, I had the opportunity to work with Walt Disney. They wanted me to live in Florida for 2 years, give you a house, give you a car. And I remember calling my mother and saying, I don't want to do it. My mother said, boy, you better reconsider what you're thinking. And then my father was like, you crazy. I can't even say that on the show, what my father said.
Right.
But most people that were in my family were like, take the job, take the job. And I'm like, but I want to travel the world. I want to get my art on TV. I saw it in a dream. I was watching Good Times reruns and was inspired by Ernie Barnes, and the art that was on the show was by Ernie Barnes.
Good stuff, man.
And I said, I want to get my stuff on TV. So even though my parents doubted me and my sister and my friends, I was like, I don't care. I saw it. So I took a trip to California, and 2 weeks later after that trip, I got my stuff on The Martin Show. And from The Martin Show, went to Jamie Foxx. From Jamie Foxx, we went to, what was the show? The Parkers, and the list goes on. So I would want to say this to the young people out there. Believe in yourself, but take time to learn the trade of whatever it is. For example, if you're going to be a photographer, even if you go to school for photography, start now, practice. It's okay to mess up. A lot of people, oh, I took a terrible picture. So what? You can't take a great picture until you take terrible pictures.
Good point. Love
You know, and a lot of people don't want to take the time. If you don't want to take the time to be the greatest, then don't do it. You know, the reason why my students say to me, why are you so good at so many things? Because I've always kept doing those things. I never stopped. I never stopped drawing. I never stopped DJing. I never stopped making music. I never stopped. So as I get older, I just get better. I practice every day. And the thing is, no matter what it is you do, you have to be willing to take the time to practice. And then, I'm going to end with this, take business classes.
Right.
Take studio management classes. Learn how to operate your own businesses. Because most of us, people of color, do not understand what owning a business is.
Right.
We're already rather say, I want a piece of the pie than owning the whole pie.
Great point. If we want to continue to support you and see your work, how can we find out more about John Ashford?
Go to www.authenticbyjohnashford.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Man, before I let you go, I know you bought some
Oh yeah, some
calendars,
art.
some artwork. You
This
bought some
is-
shoes for me, but
Yeah.
this is just not my size.
Yeah, it's a little small for you,
I
but
need
you
to
will be
practice.
taller.
Listen, man, you had one of those girls walking with that shoe.
This
at.
one.
This shoe. What is this about?
9 and a
inches.
half.
Is this really 9 inches?
9 and a half, yeah.
All
It's
right.
called Cheetah Crunch.
No, it's called Deadly.
Yes.
That's what I call it, Deadly. But this is good, man. Listen, it's good to have you here, brother. Wish you all the best success.
Thank
Let's
you.
give a hand for John Ashford being a part of our show. All right, and you got to come back. We want to do a big fashion show, runway. Again,
That'll be awesome.
A lot of invited guests, and we got to have you back to be a part of that. All right, we'll be back with more TLT Squared.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen and poppies. Welcome to another section of Chi-Chi's Words of Wisdom. I messed up a little bit, but it's okay, cause I still keep my flow going. I got a special guest with me. Her name, what is your name again, sweetie?
La Diva Doll.
What's Donna? La Diva Dawn?
Yes.
What is your mom? What's your mama doing? Like, is she sick in the head?
I
La
named
Diva?
myself.
Oh, you name yourself. I don't know why she's standing so close to me, but I guess it's okay. But this show is about fashion, so we want to speak a little bit about fashion for you little girls who dressing kind of like you dressing kind of weird, but you know, obviously you see us, we look glamorous, you know, we look cute for the poppies. So I just want to ask you some stuff, you know, like where do you shop at, you know, like what stores do you go to?
I do a little Bloomingdale's, you know, Victoria's Secrets for the undergarments, and
Well, Bloomingdale, I really don't like that, like that's kind of tacky. You don't think like Bloomingdale?
tacky Bloomingdale's.
I can see why you shop there, cause. Anyways, well, this is my show. This is Chi-Chi. See, I shop at my own stores. I have my own Chi-Chi store. So if you guys want to come down to the village. It's called Chi-Chi's Thrift Shop. So, you know, this is where I get all my stuff at. I don't even shop at Bloomingdale, Victoria's Secret. That's so tacky. Like,
I think I need to say you.
excuse
I need to do a
me. This
makeover.
is my show, so I don't know what you're saying.
Fashion all over the world. Youth all over are taking fashion in their own hands through eyes of their heritage and history. In the United Kingdom, fashionistas look to old images for their inspiration. They then mix color schemes with neo-style contrasted colors. Teens look to images of James Dean and Marilyn Monroe for inspiration. However, they remember their Victorian era when choosing their colors and textures for runway shows. However, cities like Berlin, Germany have been struck hard by street art craze. Recently, Berlin has been home to many artists of all sorts, thus creating a subculture of hipster artists who are revolutionizing fashion. Most African countries are known for the vibrance of their drums and the eccentricity of their colors. In South Africa, youth reclaim bold traditional African patterns and creatively fuse them with classical European formal attire. Afro-European blends are common in the history of this country. Dutch colonialism had already required at least two races to coexist. Japan's funky trends have gone international due to the success of the artist-painter Takashi Murakami. Youth in Japan relate to Murakami's work because of the overt references to Japanese cartoons known as anime. Murakami has gained popularity with teens in the Western world because of his line with Louis Vuitton. The line captures the innocence found in most anime but also reflects as underlining Sinister's tone. Fashion is inspired by environment. Being that every environment is different, fashion will differ from place to place. However, youth all over the world embrace each other's differences every morning before they enter their own environment.
Really fast while Mr. Harris is taking a quick bathroom break. This is John Ashford again. I forgot to plug my show, which comes on every Tuesday night at 11 o'clock on www.mnn.org. And I'm here on the TLT Squared show. And Supermodel Oyanka's coming up next.
TLT Squared, and I'm gonna teach y'all some tips on how to play the drums. What I'm gonna teach y'all today is a groove called samba. So for the samba, it's very simple. It's just kick, snare, kick, tom-tom. Put it all together. You can add the hi-hat too. And once you get comfortable with it, for more music lessons, come to Renaissance EMS.
Welcome back again to the TLT Squared Show. We have one more really exciting guest with us today. And I also have a co-host. Her name is Shakira. She helps us out every week with the TLT Squared Show, but she's sitting in today as my co-host. Let's give a hand for Shakira, y'all.
How's everyone doing? Everyone great?
Yeah.
Awesome. Who did you bring with you today?
So today we have a guest who is also a model and a student. This is Oyinka, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Oyinka, where you from?
Nigeria originally, but I live in Queens.
Okay, and you go to school?
York College, Black Studies Pre-Med.
Awesome. What year are you in?
Senior.
Let's give a hand for the senior in the house. What are your plans after that?
My plans is to still pursue modeling, acting, and also to finish taking my science classes for med school, take my MCATs, and go to med school.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell us a little bit about your experience as a model, Oyinka? How did you get into modeling?
Something I've always wanted since I was 10 years old. And my mom is so supportive that she got my comp cards made and everything, but then I didn't really care to do it anymore. But then once I turned 18, I was like, I want to do it again. So that's when I really took it seriously, started doing shows, shoots, everything. So ever since then, I've just been, doing it.
So can you tell us about some of the shows that you've done?
I've worked with the Sharpton daughters. I've worked with them for like a year or two. I do the show at York College every year. We have to support York College. Mm-hmm. And also, I can't even remember all the shows that I do.
Well, that actually, the York College show, let's stop on that one for a second, because that's a very popular one, Heat.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with Heat?
I love Heat. Heat is where I started. That was my very first fashion show, and I was just like, you know what, let me just do this for fun, see how it goes. And it just escalated into this whole thing, like this is my life now, so this is just what I love, this is just what I want to do.
So for those of you who don't know, Heat was actually originally a talent show at York, and then it turned into a fashion show gradually, and over the years it's gotten bigger and bigger and more popular as a full-fledged fashion show. Mm-hmm. So it's great that you got an experience with that.
Yes.
Why fashion?
Why fashion? I love fashion. Growing up, I would always watch my mom get dressed, and I just look at her and just say, yes. Like, I love her. Like, and I get my style from her. She's just amazing. She's my inspiration.
First of all, I love your style, by the way.
Thank you.
But it's very difficult to get involved in fashion.
Yeah, because there are some people who will tell you you're not skinny enough, or you're not tall enough, or you're not light. I've even been told I'm not dark enough before at a casting. So like you just never know. So you just can't let anybody tell you anything. You have to go hard and just do what you want to do because you love to do it, and that's it. You can't let anybody tell you no. You have to keep on going.
Mm-hmm. And what's your major in school?
Black Studies.
Black Studies. Mm-hmm. What do you hope to do with that?
I'm going to med school. So to me, it didn't really matter what I majored in.
Fashionable medical doctor, you.
Yeah.
She's going to be styling her patients. Look at you.
Yes.
You know what I love about that, though? It's like, we always say something to fall back on. I don't believe in fall back on. But I do believe that you should have multiple goals and dreams.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
So if fashion is the dream, and you got to eat too, right? And so just in case fashion does not work, just in case, you can be a doctor.
Exactly.
I ain't mad at that.
Now, what advice would you give to students out there who want to be involved in fashion? Would you suggest going straight into fashion or following the footsteps of you and other people who decide, I'm going to do fashion, I'm also going to maintain getting an education?
I would say do both. People are going to tell you cannot because they cannot. But know what you can do, know your strengths, and do both, and do what you have to do, because you can't just do fashion, because how are you going to eat? Like he said, you need to have an education. Education is very important. That comes first before anything. So basically, just do both. Do what you have to do.
Awesome.
I love it. I love it. I love it when I meet our people and we're not talking about it, but we're being about it. And you're definitely being about it. We got so many kids. You know, we talked about putting this fashion show together. Everybody, I want to do fashion. I want to do fashion. Mr. Harry, I want to do fashion. I put together a fashion show. Where you at? You know, I want to do this. I want to do that. You put together. Where you at?
Yeah.
Some of us, we talk so much and we do so little. And it sounds like you're doing so much.
Thank you.
Big ups to you
Thank
and
you.
your career, and hope all the best for you.
Thank
All right.
you.
And parting words, what can you leave our studio audience? Maybe somebody who's young and who's not as inspired as you.
Yeah.
I can't do school and model and do all these other things. What kind of positive words can you leave with them?
Always go hard and go home, and do not listen to what anyone tells you. Any negativity, throw it out the window. Do not listen to it. Just do what you have to do, and do it because you love it, not for the money, because you be doing it for the wrong reasons. And do not do fashion for the attention or the money. Do it for pure love, and that's it. And everything will just fall into place.
Thank you so much, Oyinka. We appreciate
You're
having you here
welcome.
on TLT
Thank
Squared.
you for having me.
Thanks. We got to have you back. We're going to do
Yes.
a big fashion show, and you got to be on the runway with us, right?
No problem, yes.
Let's give a hand for Oyinka being a guest. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready?
For more, come check out Renaissance. What is it? Renaissance Education.
This is very vigorous of
Wrap
you.
it up, please.
What you mean wrap it up? 30 seconds is, it's only 25 seconds. What you doing? That's still, oh my God, I can't do this no more. Go ahead, wrap it up. Close that camera. I don't even care. I'm leaving.